assessment, let me just say this. You know, we're a small group of professional learners together, and Andrew and I both have our emails available to you. We don't want to just do a flyby PBL day, right? That you come in, you get 2 hours of concentrated PBL instruction, and then you go out and forget everything that we talked about. Let's keep this conversation going. If you guys, and several of you I know personally, let's keep this conversation going in the sense that if you have questions and you want to collaborate, digitally or in person, let's do that. I mean, we're small enough we can do that. And that's how Andrew and I got together to do this PBL, is through this kind of collaboration. So, yeah. All right, let's talk about planning the assessment. One could argue that planning the assessment is the most important aspect, or one of the most important aspects, of project-based learning. As we mentioned before, in project-based learning, it's so important to use a backwards assessment model, planning for the end at the beginning of the project. After you've thought about the content standards that you want to hit, after you've thought about the scope of the project, if you thought about the driving question of the project, it's time to start thinking about how am I going to assess this, right? What is that going to look like? So I want to talk a little bit about planning the assessment. So one of the key ideas here is to align products with outcomes. So when we're doing project-based learning, there are going to be a variety of different products that kids will be producing for you. We'll talk about what some of those products look like. Including the culminating project, of course, which is very important. So, important aspect of this is identifying what types of products you want students to produce for you. You want to use multiple products throughout the course of the project-based learning activity, right? So one of the cardinal sins of, I guess, any type of project or project-based learning would be to really require nothing of the student until the very end and then say, have on a due date, okay, I want your final project on X date, and then surprise me, all right? And you have no idea what kids are gonna come to class with. I know that some kids who or teachers rather, who do a National History Day will approach it that way. That's not the right way to do it. The better way to do it is to have milestones throughout the course of your project. We'll talk about that a little bit more when we're talking about management. But using artifacts as evidence of the process of student thinking is very important. As Andrew alluded to earlier today, as important as that final outcome is, I believe that just as important is the process, is the thinking. Why are you going in that direction?